Hello, boys and girls. It's a little bit dark on my side, but that's okay. But this is our very last video for virtual learning, so I wanted to make it a fun one. I have two tasty treats, some science experiments that you can try at home with some things that you probably already have. So I wanted to jump in because they take a little bit longer to do than some of our other science experiments, but I'm going to show you what to do, and hopefully you can do them at home. As always, make sure you ask your parents' permission before you grab anything or before you cut into anything or anything like that. But I thought that it would be fun to do one cool treat and one hot treat for the summer. So if you get a chance to do these, please let me know. Please send us a picture. The first one and the most fun one, in my opinion, is homemade ice cream. So what we're going to do, you're going to need a good amount of ingredients. So make sure that you pause the video so you can grab all of them. You are going to need a bunch of ice, so make sure you have a bunch of ice. You need a 1 cup of salt. Some people use rock salt. I have some coarse salt, but really any salt I think will work. So you need 1 cup of salt. You're going to need a 1/4 of a cup of sugar, and I have mine in my big container that I'll pour from. You're going to need 1/2 of a teaspoon of vanilla, because I'm making vanilla ice cream. You could probably find like banana and chocolate, or you can just put syrup in it once it's finished, but I'm using vanilla because that's my favorite. You are also going to need a spoon to stir, and you're going to need a 1/4 Ziploc bag, and you want to make sure that it's a good quality bag. The zipper ones like these are really the best because you don't want anything to spill out, because what we're going to do is we're going to shake it for a really long time. So you're going to need a 1/4 of a gallon and the quart size, and then you need a gallon. So the really big ones, you need both. You need a smaller one and you need a bigger one. You also need like a dish towel or something like that, a small rag, or maybe some hand gloves if you have some gloves at the house. And finally, you're going to need some milk and half and half. So I already measured these liquid ingredients out because I didn't want to bring all of my cold ingredients outside besides the ice. But you need 1/2 of a cup of whole milk. You can use 1 or 2% milk, but it's probably not going to be as rich, and you might have some more ice crystals on it than most ice cream has. So I went ahead and measured out 1/2 of a cup of whole milk, and you also need 1/2 of a cup of half and half. That's going to make the fat in the ice cream the cream. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to try to make sure that you can see everything as I'm doing it. The first thing that you want to do is mix your milk, your 1/2 a cup of whole milk, and your 1/2 a cup of half and half. I've already done that, so my measuring cup is already up to 1 cup. The next thing you're going to want to do is take your vanilla extract. Ooh, mine's leaking a little bit. And you're just going to want to put a little bit inside. I just kind of eyeball it, but it should be like 1/2 of a teaspoon, or just a teaspoon should be enough. And then you are going to take your 1/4 of a cup, 1/4 of sugar. I'm going to pour it over there so hopefully I don't spill any. So we have our sugar, because ice cream is sweet. Okay, you're going to pour that in. When you're finished, you're going to move it out of the way. So I have my milk, my half and half, my vanilla, and my sugar in this container. So you're going to mix, mix, mix. Try to get all of that sugar dissolved, because we don't want little crunchy bits on our ice cream. So just going to keep mixing until it looks good. You can already see it kind of looks like melted ice cream. And if you remember, we talked about in one of our earlier science videos that you have your solids, liquids, and gases. So right now we're going from liquid and we're going to turn it into a solid. So what we're going to do is you're going to mix all of that up. And then you're going to take your quart size bag, and you're going to pour this mixture into this bag. You want to be very careful. You don't want to lose any of it. You're going to open it up. You're probably going to need an adult's help. I hope that I don't spill any on my computer. I'm going to try my best to show you. You're going to pour this mixture into your bag. Make sure you get all the goodness in there. Okay. Then you're going to get most of the air out, and make sure that it is zipped closed really, really good, because like I said, we don't want any of this good ice cream to come out. Okay. The next thing you're going to want to do is get your gallon bag, your really big gallon bag. Open it. I have a big bowl of ice over here. If you have an automatic ice maker, you can do it this way too. But I have my big scooper. I'm going to try to show you. I have a big bowl of ice with my scooper in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple scoops. Some froze to my scooper. And you're going to put some of your ice into your bowl. Drop the piece. My ice is flying everywhere, guys. You're going to use a lot of ice for this. And the reason why I asked you to get a towel or some gloves is because this is going to get really cold. Because what happens is the ice and the salt that we're about to put in there are going to mix together. And the salt actually lowers the temperature enough so that it can freeze the material that we have in our quart size bag. So let me get this ice out of the way. It's flying all over the place. So I have a little bit of ice already in my bag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little bag of our cream, our half and half, everything. I'm going to put it inside and then get most of the air out. Leave a little bit in there. Make sure it's zipped up really good. Some of the air out. Hopefully it's in there. Oop, I don't want to zip it quite yet. I need more ice. Okay, so now that the little bag is inside the big bag, put some more ice in there. A lot of ice. We want to sprinkle our salt in there too. That's another reason that we wanted to make sure that our little bag was zipped up really good, because we don't want salty ice cream. Keep putting your ice in there. That looks pretty good. It's probably 3/4 of the way full, maybe a little bit more than half. Zip. Okay. Now I want you to take your towel or your gloves if you have them on your hand. You're gonna lay it. You're gonna wrap this in your towel because you don't want your hands to get cold. Okay, I'm not gonna show this on camera because we would be here for a pretty long time. But what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna shake this bag. You're going to shake it for like 5 minutes. It's going to take some time. You're going to get an arm workout. But when you're done, you're going to open the big bag and then take out the little bag, and it should have some creamy ice cream. Now, if you shake it for a little bit, it's going to be a little bit more runny. It's going to be more melted, maybe like a soft serve ice cream. And the longer that you shake it, it'll be a little bit harder and more frozen. But you're definitely going to have to shake it. Make sure you have lots of ice in there. Keep the towel or your gloves on so your hands don't get frozen, because what's happening is the ice and the salt are mixing together to lower that freezing point and make sure it's done. So I'm going to do this after, but I wanted to show you one more experiment before I go for the summer. So do this, and I'm going to try my ice cream tonight for dessert. I'm going to put it to the side for now so I can show you our hot treat. Now, our next treat is a little bit warm, and if you go camping this summer, this would be a good one, but you'd probably use this for a fire. You can also do this in your oven, but I thought it would be fun to make something of our own, so I wanted to make our own solar oven. So remember, the sun gives off heat and light, so I thought that we could make our own little mini oven, and what you're going to need is some tape. You're going to need a little box. I just had this from the mail, but it might be better if you have like a pizza box or one that's a little bit bigger than this, because I won't be able to put too many treats in here, but that's okay. But you want to make sure that it has a lid, and this one has a lid, but I went ahead and cut 3 lines like this. Make sure that you ask an adult for help. Please do not try to cut this by yourself. I had to use a knife. So you're going to cut all the way around so it has an opening like this, and we're going to put our treats inside. So if you go camping, while I'm showing you some other ingredients, think about what this hot treat might be that you usually have over a fire. Think about that, boys and girls, while I show you the rest of this. Next, we have some cling wrap, some saran wrap. It's that clear wrap that you use. Your mom probably has it in the kitchen. You also need aluminum foil, which you probably also have in the kitchen. And finally, if you guessed it, boys and girls, Ingredients to make s'mores. So make sure that you have some Hershey bars, some graham crackers, and then some marshmallows to eat. Now my box is really tiny, so I only have enough for 2 s'mores. But make sure that you do this on a hot, sunny day, because remember, the sun is what's giving us our heat, and this is how we're going to make our solar oven. So if it's not a hot day, these s'mores aren't going to cook. Remember, it's going to take some time, and I'm going to show you how. But if you want to make some s'mores without going camping and without using your oven in the house, you can make these all by yourself at home outside, and I'm going to show you how. So take your box, and the first thing you're going to do, I have 2 pieces that I already cut of aluminum foil. They're like this. I'm going to go ahead and put one on the inside. I might even fold it in half so that it fits in there a little bit better, because this aluminum foil is going to reflect the sun, and it's going to heat our treats and our s'mores inside. So I have some on the inside like this, and then you're also going to want to put it right here on the flap of your oven. So this is our little baby oven. You're going to want to put your aluminum foil on the flap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it here, and I'm going to kind of fold it over for now. I brought the tape out. You could also use some glue, but I'm going to just fold it for now, and you can cut it off to make it prettier if you want. But I'm just making a quick little oven to show you for this video. If you want to make it prettier than mine, then go right ahead. Make sure your aluminum foil sticks. So your little oven should look like this. You have it on the top, and you have it in the bottom like that, okay? Because we want our sun to reflect. You can kind of already see in the video, it's reflecting. So you see how it's a little bit brighter? It's reflecting the sun, the little bit of sun that's still left out today. So that's what your oven's gonna look like right now. Okay, so I didn't need my tape for this, so you may not need it either. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is set up your s'more. So remember, a s'more always has a graham cracker. So I'm gonna put my 2 graham crackers in here. Then you're gonna put your chocolate pieces. And then you're gonna put your marshmallow on top. Hopefully you don't roll or blow away because it's a little bit windy here. Okay, so you're gonna get your s'mores set up for cooking just like you would if you were making them on a campfire. And finally, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this clear saran wrap, and this is a little bit tricky to use, so I would definitely have someone to help you because it sticks to itself really, really bad. So you're gonna pull this saran wrap out of the box so that it's clear. And we do this for 2 reasons. Number 1, we want to trap the heat that's inside the solar oven so that it's kind of like steam. It traps the heat inside so it doesn't just leave. And number 2, we don't want any bugs on our food, do we, boys and girls? I don't. So the reason we do that is so that hopefully it will keep out some little critters like ants and bugs and all kinds of things that are flying around in the summertime. This I might have to use my tape for because it is very windy, guys. So I'm going to do that really quick. Regular old masking tape that you have. I'm going to tape it to the sides. And remember, it needs to be a hot day. It needs to be a hot, sunny day where you go outside, you're going to be sweaty because the sun is out, and that will be the perfect temperature for you to make these s'mores. Another thing that you can do if your box is a little bit flimsy and it doesn't stay up as good as mine's pretty good like this. It might need to be a little bit lower where you can kind of be like this because you want it to reflect down onto your s'mores, but that's okay. We can leave it like that, and I'll just bend it a little bit like this. If yours doesn't stick up and it's too heavy like a big pizza box, put a skewer or a little stick right here and tape it so that it props it open and it'll cook better that way. That's a little trick for you. Okay, I'm going to tape one more piece so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so this is our homemade oven. The bugs won't get inside. We've got our s'mores cooking in there. Put this in the direct sunlight. Don't put it anywhere near the shade because it's not going to cook. It's probably going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours to cook. If you just leave it outside, go play, go watch a movie, go clean your room. When you come back, hopefully your chocolate will be melted and your marshmallow will probably be puffed up a little bit. When your marshmallow looks gooey like it does at a campfire, it's probably ready. Then when you're ready to eat it, just peel off your saran wrap, and then you can just take your s'more and eat it. All right, boys and girls, those are our 2 science experiments. We have a hot one and a cold one. I'm gonna take my ice cream. I'm gonna finish shaking it so that I can have it too. If you make any s'mores or any ice cream, please let me know. I wanna see what you put on your ice cream and you eating your s'mores in your backyard. I know this is our last video, but I hope you've had fun with all of our experiments and with White Station's virtual learning videos. Please come back and see if we post anything new. I hope you have an amazing summer, and I will see you next year. Bye, guys.